I wish I got one of the white ones. I got one of the black and silver ones.
Oh, yeah.
But I also covered it in stickers, but they're all beer stickers.
Nice. You have to cover it in stickers. You don't want to.
Yeah, because I don't want... Because they also voted for the worst of the 3 graphics.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, excuse me. Anyway. The moment I wake up. Before I put on my juicy boot.
My juicy boot.
Look at it on camera. It's so booty.
Juicy.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the After School Special Club Podcast.
Hi, I'm Mary.
I'm Chris.
And we're here.
We're here. I'm in a boot. And we'll talk about that.
A damaged leg situation.
Man, but yeah, welcome back to another episode. This is your podcast for games.
And other things.
Such as
this past week. I was going to ask, just because everyone's in the, the holiday mood, the holiday
Yes,
spirit.
we're just coming out of Thanksgiving, which we didn't have an episode last week because
of
I hurt myself.
Because of turkeys.
Yeah, the turkeys hurt me.
The turkeys pecked that's actually what happened.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But so we were not able to record an episode to put out last week because I was unable to walk for a couple days. Exactly. So...
But yeah, it's the holiday spirits are upon us. I mean, my favorite holiday passed.
The holiday spirits.
Yeah, exactly. They're like,
they're haunting us.
Ooh. They're like, you better celebrate or else.
Are you celebrating?
Are you celebrating? You better. No, but I feel like I love the holiday time. I actually really like it. I like all the lights out in people's houses. I like everyone's. I like the weather is great.
Yep.
Everything. I'm just like, I love it. And I love giving. That's my favorite thing.
Same.
So it's my time just to give a copious amount of gifts to everybody.
Right.
And make them uncomfortable.
Yep.
And it's great for me.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to receive. If I receive a gift.
I get upset.
Yeah. I'm like
whenever you get me gifts, I get really mad.
Yeah. I understand that.
You're like, and I'm never going to stop.
I'm never going to stop.
I mean, I just gave you a gift. So.
That's right. I know. And I felt a little uncomfortable when I pushed past it. Yeah.
But they're not here. But I made our first merch. I made shirts with our logo on it, but they are in the other room, so you guys won't see them. And they're also not for you. So,
but they look great. They're for us.
We
don't want anyone else wearing our merch. We are the only ones.
We open a merch store, but everything is restricted. Like you can't purchase anything.
It's so exclusive that we ruin our company. It's too exclusive. They're like, well, all the other companies are super exclusive. And they will get all this money. So we take it too far. As with most things, we take it too far.
Right.
Yeah.
But so yeah, what am I grateful for? Is that what you were gonna ask me? What I was grateful for?
I was gonna ask because it is the time of being grateful for things, and if there's anything that you feel like you're grateful for.
Well, most recently, I've been grateful just for, as cheesy as it sounds, for my friends like you and Katie specifically, because as I have injured myself. Which, again, we will talk about. Yes. I'll just keep saying that and then never talk about it.
At the end of the episode, you're like, oh, that was it, guys.
That was it, bye.
Everyone's like, what did happen to his leg?
What happened? And then the next episode, the boot's gone.
Yeah.
And they're like, did we dream?
Yeah, it was just in your imagination.
But, why don't I just tell the story? I'll be quick and then I'll talk about what I'm grateful for. So last Thursday...
yeah, I can't wait to hear. I haven't actually heard the story, so this is the first for me, too. Because you told me briefly, so... excited.
So not Thanksgiving Thursday, which was last week, but the week before. I was out with our friend Katie, who I adore, and we always get really drunk when we hang out. So we were really drunk. And we were at the bar down by my house, and I decided that it would be fun to climb the scaffolding. There's scaffolding outside, which you've probably seen in your jaunt over here. There's scaffolding outside. So I was like, oh, I'm going to climb that. Because I'm an Aries and I was drunk. So
how far up was it? From the ground?
It's like, the first landing is probably like 10 feet off the ground. I didn't make it that far. I probably got 5 feet off the ground.
Okay.
So I climbed up and I was like 5 feet off the ground and I grabbed onto the landing, but I slipped. And so I fell backwards. And so here's the thing. I'm still trying to figure out how I actually injured my ankle, because the thing is I fell on my back.
So, that's bad.
Which is bad. And bad. I hit my head on the concrete.
So you're lucky. You're lucky that it was your foot.
Right.
All the damage that would have gone to your head and your back. It's like, no. Let's revert this. Let's go down to ankle.
And the thing is, I can't figure it out. Katie can't figure it out. My doctor couldn't figure it out because I was explaining the situation.
The doctor who knows the most about bodies is just like, I don't know.
Right. Because I was like, yeah, I slipped and I fell backwards. So here's what I think. I think that I hit the ground first on my foot because I was climbing. So when I fell, I think I fell down. I don't think I fell back. So I think I fell down onto my foot and crushed it under all of my body weight, falling 5 feet, and then fell backwards. So because my ass was bruised and still is bruised because my ass hit, and then my back, and then my head hit. So I think that my ankle took most of the shock. And then my ass absorbed the rest of it. And that's why my back and my head didn't get injured.
That's great.
Because I do have a pretty nice butt. So I was like, thank you.
Thank you for the cushion.
Because, my doctor was like, so you have no back pain. I was like, no back pain. And she was like, and you're not seeing double. You didn't black out. Like when you hit your head, I was like, no. And I don't have any head pain.
She doesn't believe you. She's like, no, really. You can tell me the truth.
And I'm like, I'm not lying.
You don't have to be embarrassed.
And I mean, I'm just grateful that, speaking of being grateful, I'm grateful that I didn't injure my back or my spine or my head.
Yeah, that would have been horrible.
I'm grateful I didn't bite my tongue off when I hit my head on the ground.
Yeah.
I am grateful that it is just an ankle injury. And I've also done this before.
Scaffolding?
No.
Okay.
The ankle injury.
Okay.
Because
Same ankle?
No, the opposite. Because I did the same thing to my left ankle when I was in college. I fell down the stairs.
Oh, okay.
But I was 20 years old, so it healed really fast.
Yeah. It's like you got up and it was healed.
Yeah, basically.
He's walked away.
But I'm 27 now, so I'm like, ooh.
Your body's like, we don't know if we can do this.
Yeah, literally. So that's what happened. And so I'm just grateful for you and for Katie for helping me with menial daily tasks that are hard for me to do now. Like Mary helped me take out the trash earlier. I waited for you to come over, so I was like, hey,
Actually, you just point to it. I would have got it. I would have been like, yeah. Okay.
Because I had trash, and then I had a box of cardboard that I was like, it's too cumbersome for me to go down the stairs because I need to hold on to the railing right now. So I was like, I can't carry that cardboard.
But I really I don't know what it is, that like taking the cardboard, ripping it apart, and folding it nicely and organizing that. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I think that's
I love doing I loved collapsing all of it and putting it in the box.
Yeah, it's great.
And then I was like, fuck, I can't bring this downstairs to the trash room. And Katie was my big savior because she basically drove me around the day after because she helped me get up to my room the night of, but I was drunk, so I was like, I'm fine. But I woke up the next day and I was like, I can't walk.
Oh man, that must have been scary.
Yeah. So, and she was working. So
the bird's
she was working, and so she was lovely and basically spent half of her shift driving me around the city.
Oh, nice.
She took me to urgent care and took me to Walgreens and helped me up and down because I live on the second floor of an apartment building. So I not only have to get up the stoop, I also have to get up the stairs to my apartment.
Yeah.
So she helped me. She's been bringing me food if I need it.
That's awesome.
Because again, she works down close to my house. So she's like, yeah, let's bring stuff over when I'm working. And I'm like, okay.
That's cool.
So it's been really nice. And I'm grateful. I mean, I'm just grateful for video games because I haven't been able to leave the house. I can't walk anywhere long distance. I can walk down the block and back pretty much at this point. So it's I've just been grateful to have video games, and especially a long list of video games that I've been needing to play. I'm like, I have nothing else to do. So
yeah, that's great.
But that's pretty much it.
Those are two very good things to be grateful for.
Friends and video games.
Yeah, friends and video games. What more do you need?
I don't need anything else.
Yeah, you don't need it. You don't need food. You don't need water.
I don't need shelter.
You don't need any of that.
No.
Just video games and friends. Yeah. The TV show. What if you were forced to watch that? That was the only thing you could watch for media?
It's I was in urgent care and Friends was the only thing playing for 3 hours while I waited.
They're you have to stay overnight.
I'm like,
it's keep
no!
it on. The same song.
It's just the theme song.
Torture.
Oh my God. Remember when they used to play the actual song at work?
Yep. I was like, please turn this off.
And then it was jarring because it would continue. It would continue because it's an actual song.
Yeah.
So it would continue past the point where it would end for the Friends theme song. And it was always so jarring because you're not used to that.
So they took annoying into intolerable. Like it's just like right into that.
Okay, so what are you grateful for then? You're like, nothing.
Great, nothing. I am grateful that I'm breathing. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm also grateful that I'm taking my mental health seriously this year for the first time in my life. I feel like,
same. I should have said that. Fuck, you stole my answer.
Yeah.
It's like we're in school. I'm like, fuck, she stole my
She's
answer.
a good answer. You didn't like someone raise their hand before you.
Yeah, they get called on
answer,
and they have my answer.
And then I get mad. I'm like.
And then you get called on and then it's like, oh, well, Mary, I had my answer.
Yeah. She already said it. They already said it. And I get angry and the teacher's like, okay, do you have anything else to add?
Like,
and you're like, no. Because I thought up pensively for 5 minutes.
Right.
Gonna say this thing, but I need to actually work myself up to do it because I have social anxiety.
Right.
And this person with a great idea, my idea.
Sarah over here.
Rose her.
Oh, that bitch.
Yeah. So no, I don't have anything to say. No, but yeah, so I'm grateful for my mental health. Like being able to actually, for the first time in my life, acknowledge where I'm at and be okay with where I'm at. Like not like be where I want to be.
Right.
But be present with the idea that like I'm working on it. And I should be grateful and appreciative of that fact, even though I have a lot of work to do. Yeah,
that I feel like I'm in the same position where I've been working on like acceptance. Because I'm one of those people where like not just with my mental health, but with like everything in my life, I feel like I'm very like future oriented. So it's like I'm never happy because I'm always imagining where I want to be, and I'm never being grateful for where I'm currently at and celebrating my current victories. So I'll say that because both in my career and in my mental health, I've been very successful, and I am grateful for that. So,
do you think your leg injury is also helping with like you like meditating, like being with yourself, like getting to know? Okay,
I think so because I've just been trapped in my house,
trapped in your mind, trapped in your house.
Literally, I've just been trapped in my mind because I can't do anything to escape.
Yeah, that's how I felt the couple days that I had my wisdom teeth like taken out. I was just like, I'm stuck.
Yeah, when you're just like stuck inside and there's nothing, and like you can't do anything, and you're just like forced to sit with everything. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, that's when the beginning of the pandemic hit. That's why the only thing I played was Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to say anything more about your life.
I don't.
All right. Yeah, I don't want to hear it anyway. So when I was speaking of Animal Crossing, you've been getting into that. You've been getting into your island again.
You make it sound like I'm just discovering Animal Crossing.
Yeah, you're just getting into it.
Just getting into it. It's not like I've been playing it for the past 15 years.
Everybody else keeps talking about it for all this time, and you're like, what is that?
I'm like, oh my God, Mary, have you heard of Animal Crossing?
And I'm like,
you're like,
we've literally talked about it on the podcast.
We did a whole Animal Crossing episode recently.
What did you think that was?
I was just going along with the bit, but I didn't actually know what it was about.
You're like, Mary wants to do it. I guess we'll give it.
Right. I was like, I'm a good friend. I'll let Mary take this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I downloaded the DLC and the update, and I feel like Animal Crossing just keeps coming up in times in my life and like everyone's lives where like we need it most. Because New Horizons came out for the pandemic, and then the DLC and the update that just came out right before I hurt myself. So it's like I've been debilitated sitting in my bed just playing Animal Crossing and having a great fucking time because there's actually stuff to do now.
Yeah, that's the most exciting part because you run out of stuff to do. Like, you know, you exhaust 200 hours in it and you just run out of things.
Right. And you hit a wall at some point where you're like, okay, well, like, you know, I'm tired of doing the same shit every day.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's nice to have new like goals and new things to strive towards. Especially because I also paid for the DLC. So I have that whole, like, that's a whole, like, separate, like, you go to work.
Yeah, I think I would like that.
I was going to say, I was like, Mary, you should buy it because it's really fun.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it probably this week, most likely, and start to play it. Because I like the update. I've been playing around with that. So. Yeah. But I feel like, I want, like, structured goals. And I feel like the DLC is, like, more of a structured.
Yeah, because I really like it because it's basically just like Sims build mode.
Oh, that's amazing. I love Sims build mode.
Yeah, so you get you help animals build like vacation homes. And you basically like the way it works is you have like they'll tell you what their theme is, so they'll have like specific items that you have to put in their room, but then other than that you basically have almost the entire catalog of items and furniture and wallpapers and all that shit.
Oh, so you don't have to spend bells?
No, it's all free.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
okay.
And you can decorate their yard too, so you can do the outside and the inside.
That's cool. And then can you do it like your own way and they kind of rate it at the end with like how much they like it or?
Yeah, like I don't know if their rating depends on like if you put enough of the items they want, because there's always 2 to 3 items that like I think you have to put in the room or else they'll be unhappy with it. I've never not put them in there, so I don't know what the reaction is otherwise.
It's like I want a creepy doll in the corner. If I don't get a creepy doll,
kind of.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, there's some that are just like really funny, but yeah, so like they have designated items they want, and then they have like just other things that fit that theme that you can put as much or as little as you want in their house. And then you also have access to the entire catalog on top of that of just all the furniture and
oh, that's so cool.
Or a majority of it. So like you can really go all out, and like pretty much as long as you put the items that they want, you can put anything else and just like.
Is Frog Chair there?
No.
Oh.
So. That's funny.
Knowing me, I find the fatal flaw.
Right? You're like, no frog chair?
You're telling me all this like great stuff, and I'm like, yeah, well, what about that?
And I'm like,
no,
the
Achilles heel. I find the Achilles heel. Sorry.
Wow.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's just been super fun because that's like I love just being able to like build the spaces that I want unrestricted, because you don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to learn fucking DIY recipes.
That's awesome. See, I was worried about that. I was like, I think I'll like the DLC if I don't have to spend like 100,000 bells every time I want to build a wall. Then like the little, what are those called? The little guys, the little tree guys. They're called something. The people that ask for money. The things on the ground. They're like, give me bells. You know?
Gyroids.
Oh yeah.
I knew exactly what you were talking about, but I wanted to hear you describe it more.
The thing that grows out of the ground that asks for bells.
For bells. Lloyd, that's his name.
Yes,
a mustache.
Lloyd. Yes, the mustached gyroid.
Yeah.
He always asks for bells, and sometimes I don't have bells to give him. And he's like, give me bells.
Give me bells.
He's like, takes out a little knife, his tree stump. He's like, he sharpens his tree stump where it's sharp. We want bells.
But yeah, it's been really fun. And then like, in addition to that, there's like, the more houses that you design, the more features you unlock. So like, you have the ability to change the size of people's rooms. You can build walls.
That's awesome.
You can, and then like, you open like facilities on the island as well. So I opened a school, and there's like other facilities too.
That's
and you decorate
cool.
the facilities.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Can you explore where it's at afterwards? That's even cooler.
Yeah, you can walk around the island, and like I don't know if the islands are all the same build in the DLC. I'm assuming they are, but
that's really cool.
It's really cool. Mine has like behind everything, it's like a pond and waterfalls and like an arch.
That's pretty.
And like columns and stuff.
They literally
took a huge beach.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
They literally took my favorite thing about Sims and just made it.
Yeah. And then you can go around and you can visit all of the animals that you've helped build houses for.
Oh, that's cool. Does it cost anything to go there?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sold.
And you get money, like you don't get bells. You get money that's exclusive to that island to spend at the store there. But they kind of like give you too much money. Oh,
interesting. Like, do you get money every time you build?
Mm-hmm.
And then...
like they give you Pokey, I think is the currency. And they give you like... So I'm at the point where I'm earning 9,000 every time I...
That's a lot for bells too. I mean, that's...
right, because it's basically the same...
yeah.
It's just you can't spend it on your island.
Got it.
But it's the...
no currency exchange.
Basically. And I'm wondering if they'll add a feature where you can exchange it for bells, because... there's not enough items in the store. Like, I can buy every item in the store every day because I make so much fucking money.
That's pretty cool.
But it is nice because, you know, I always feel like one of the things about Animal Crossing New Horizons that I didn't like was that Nook's Cranny doesn't upgrade like it did in the previous games. Because in the previous games, you could get Nookingtons was the final evolution. It was like 2 stories and just had a shit ton of items every day, which I miss. And I understand because they want you to focus on DIY. They don't want you to just be able to buy anything.
Yeah.
But I hate that because there's only like 3 items available every day.
Yeah, and it like gets rid of the excitement, like allure. And you see the same items every day, especially on the cheaper table. It's like always the same stuff. But that would be interesting. I could see them doing a currency exchange type thing, and then Nook charging you bells because he's doing the transfer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know because I feel like they're going to have to do something because I'm just making way too much money designing houses and I have nothing to spend it on.
They're going to cut that out too. They're going to be like, we are giving them way too much. We need to cut that down. When I start to play it, I'm like, wow, I'm going to be swimming in this.
They give you like half of what I was previously making.
It's like they like nerf the game. They're like, no Tarantula Island, no amount of that money. No.
Yeah, I'm like I hope that they do like come up with like a currency transfer thing where like maybe it ends up translating to less bells, but like you can put in your bank account and get bells instead because I'm like right now I'm like I have like 90,000 Pokey and I'm just like I've just been buying all the items every day because I'm like I might as well just buy them and put them in my storage because I'm like I have nothing else to spend these on. And
like are they special like the items I'm assuming you could take back to your island?
And they're not special. They're not like exclusive. They're not like exclusive to that to the DLC or to that island. It's just like a shop.
Oh, okay.
So, and I don't know. I'm predicting because I haven't looked into the full extent of the DLC. I've just been playing it. I'm predicting that one of the facilities you can open is a store.
That would be cool. Maybe you could do stories with that store.
Yeah, like I don't know because then maybe there'll be just more stuff to spend your money on. Because right now I'm just like this seems like I'm just earning money and like hoarding it.
Yeah. Can you make stories? Like 2-tiered?
No.
Okay. And like the build mode, is it like good?
Yeah, it's good. It's nice because it's basically the same as The Sims.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And can you apply that? So can you build like that on your own island?
Some of the features you can't use on your island. Like I can't change the size of my house.
Okay.
without paying for it.
Yeah. Looks like no. He's like just because you have that skill over there doesn't mean to pay bills here.
Right. And he's like, you can't use that here. And I'm like, how does that work?
I don't allow it.
Right. And they have this like stupid feature where you can shine items now and it's so funny. It just makes them sparkle.
Oh, really?
Perpetually. So I like, I have that like Aries rocking chair you made me. I shined it so it just sparkles now.
That's pretty
That's it. It's the only thing in my house that sparkles.
I have so much crap in the house that I made. I just like have to like make everything sparkle.
Everything's shining.
And then like the visitor comes over because they start to do that now. Right. Every time they do, it freaks me out too.
Yeah, because they just let themselves in.
Yeah, they're like, sorry, I'm here.
And I'm like, I get offended, but that's literally what I do to them.
Yeah, you're just like, you rummage around their house too. Just like tear up a storm. Right. Take their DIY recipes, leave.
Yeah, I know, literally.
Give them a peach. Like, I just found it on the ground.
Yeah, I'm like, here you go.
Here's a peach. And they give you like a jumper in return. You're like, I already have this.
Right? They give me shoes. I'm like, thanks.
Give it back. They're like, I think this looks familiar. And I'm like, nope.
No, it doesn't. I know. I love doing that. Regifting immediately.
They turn into it. That's good. No, but I definitely want it now. You sold me on that.
Yeah, it's really fun. I think it's worth it.
And it's good for it's good for relaxation.
Yeah.
It's so hard to relax. So this is something that I need to do more. So
yeah.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else have you been playing? Just Animal Crossing?
I've just dabbled in the Animal Crossing. Kenna. In the game, they pronounce it both Kina and Kenna. So
you're like, so what's the truth?
What's the truth? I'm gonna say Kina because that's how I've said it this whole time.
Well, I'm gonna say Kenna.
Titus.
I was literally just thinking that I'm like Titus, except I say Titus.
Yeah, I say Titus too now. I used to say Titus.
I know. Oh, it's like GIF. But if you're around enough people who say the other, you just assimilate.
Oh, I am not around someone who says GIF. No, that doesn't happen.
I used to say GIF.
Chris, that must have been before we met.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I say GIF now.
All right.
Even though.
Oh, no.
You're like, and we're at time.
And? There's an and?
I mean, so my defense is linguistically informed, so I feel like I can make a good case considering I have 2 degrees in linguistics and a PS5.
But you don't have... Okay. Let's hear the argument.
Well, my argument was always, you don't say giraffe, you say giraffe. And it's the same spelling. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the same, like, setup of, like letters and sounds. So I'm like, why wouldn't you say GIF?
Wait, do I say GIF or GIF? Now I'm confused.
Mary!
Because I've made the same joke. I made it to someone at work. And I texted them a picture of a giraffe.
Yeah.
And I did the same joke. I was like, you don't say this. Like, I used giraffe as a...
Yeah. That's like the classic example.
Wait,
and I'm like, yeah, like you say giraffe. You don't say giraffe.
Yeah. I've literally sent this conversation to someone recently.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. I'm confused. This is like the same time where I told someone mistakenly I was 3 years older than I was. And like and
then you were like, how do I backtrack from this?
I literally walked back in. It was like the production area. I literally walked right back in. I was like, oh, sorry. I'm actually this age.
And they're like...
Yeah, and they're like, what do I believe? This is exactly one of those situations where my brain is thinking one thing and I'm thinking another. There's two parts of my brain.
We'll circle back at the end of the episode. We'll bring it up again.
Yeah. We'll have to end this just like a picture of a giraffe. Just like...
just the whole episode, a picture of a giraffe slowly, like from the middle of the screen, just keeps getting bigger for the whole hour.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm losing my mind. GIF or GIF. Anyway,
Chris.
Yeah. What we were saying before. So I was playing Kenna.
Mm-hmm.
And Kina, I just did it. I said I was going to say Kina and I said Kenna.
Ridiculous. I can't believe this.
I know. Wow, my brain's collapsing. Kina. So I played that. I got back into it. That game is so good. And I keep forgetting how good it is.
Yeah.
And then I get stuck. And then I'm like, and then I stop it. And then I go back to play for a couple. Because if you put the PS5 headphones on with PS5 controller, PS5 game, it's pure perfection.
Yeah.
It's so great. You just totally immerse yourself. Yeah. And the music is so good in that game. It's amazing. Because the fight sequences and like the music changes for each like area you're in, or like even sometimes the boss fights, like the music changes. And it's just really cool. That game is amazing. So I've been playing that a lot. And Animal Crossing intermittently. Yeah. And then I've been like just going onto the PlayStation Store website going like, what should I buy? That's also another game I play. That's another game I play.
I was just going to say, that's a game that I play every week. I'm like, I just scroll down. It's the same games there, but I'm like, what should I buy? Yeah.
And I always like click on it. I'm like, oh, I really want to play that.
Right.
Like there's a game that I want to play. Like, I don't know why I want to play it so badly. Because it's not like a game that traditionally people are like, It's Cookie Mama Cookstar. Yeah. It's like the most generic. Like if you look at the cover, it looks like a kid's game.
Yeah.
Like, I love Cookie Mama. It's so fun. It's relaxing. Like you just chop and cook and that's it.
Yeah.
And the Cookstar, it's like her with like a selfie, like taking a picture of like a rainbow cheese, like cheese bread. Yeah. And I was like, I want this game.
I want this game right now.
But it's like $40.
I saw one earlier that was like, I wish I could remember what it was called because it was like Sexy Girl Mahjong.
Wait, Mahjong, but like sexy girls?
Yeah, it was like Mahjong, but there was like a sexy anime girl.
Do you like when you win the game, like a piece of her clothing falls off?
I don't know.
Oh, those games are out there.
I know, they exist.
They're like the shooters, like with the side scroller shooters. Yeah. Like you're just shooting away their clothes and then it goes away. That's what I put on my wish list.
Right, we should play those games on the channel.
We should. And I'm like, wooga.
Wooga.
We get really good at Mahjong. Like we get so good at it.
Oh my God, I have to see her tits.
I want to see her tits. Started playing competitively.
Yeah, but I was doing that today, and then I settled on buying Skyrim because I was like, I haven't played Skyrim in like 7 years.
That's such a good settle. That's a good settle.
Yeah, it was the anniversary edition. It was $13.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Because the past, well, actually not even the past 2 weeks, this past week, played and finished Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, how was that?
Because I played for like 10 hours every day because of my foot.
Yeah, that game looks great.
I fucking loved it. I feel like I only had 2 criticisms for myself. Mm-hmm. One of them being that I felt like at times it was a little chatty. Like there weren't like a lot of cutscenes. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't heavy in cutscenes, but there was a lot of like just like dialogue out in the field. Oh,
like you're walking around, it's going on in the background.
Yeah, which was fine because it was written really well. Like I actually think that the writers for that game did a really, really good job of capturing the Guardians of the Galaxy mood without just ripping off the movies. Because it was really cool to feel like it was a completely unique experience, but with these characters that you're already familiar with. Because, yeah, it was just like I felt like the worlds were really well designed. They were really fun to play in and run around in. I at first thought that I was not going to like how linear it was because you don't explore. It's very like pipeline. You go here to here to here to here.
Okay, so it's not like more open world. It's like
right.
Okay.
But I didn't feel like it needed to be because there are a lot of games where you feel like you want it to be open world and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've talked about that before with like Final Fantasy 13 and like games where it's like marketed to you as being like open world, but then it is just like garden path.
Yeah.
But this wasn't marketed as an open world game. And I don't think it needed to be. Like, I thought like each chapter was designed very well, like where I didn't feel like when I was playing it all that I wanted it to be open world. Like I could explore and go wherever. Like I just felt like it moved at a really good pace and it had the Guardians of the Galaxy feel, even with the plot where like it was a video game, so it was exponentially longer than a movie, but it still had the sort of plot progression, there's a falling out, like, and these two characters hate each other for a brief moment, and then like they come back and like whatever, and like that, like it felt just kind of like the movie without it ripping off the movies, which I really liked.
That's cool, yeah.
And the characters were really, I think the voice acting was really well done. Mm-hmm. It was like, there was, for the first like hour I was playing, it was weird because I'm so used, like, because I love the Guardians movies. Mm-hmm. So I'm so used to hearing like, like Chris Pratt and like
Mario.
Zoe Saldana and like,
yeah.
And what's his face? Dave Bautista.
Yeah,
like,
great.
I'm so used to hearing like those people. Mm-hmm. But then, like, you quickly get over it, because I feel like they were voice acted very well for the characters that they were in the game. Mm-hmm. So I really liked that. And just, the fighting was really fun. My second criticism was just there is this, like, feature in battle where you can huddle. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of weird because it, like, breaks the immersion of the fighting because, like, it kind of, like you all come together and then like you have to basically like give like a speech or like a pep talk speech. You have to like choose the right option, and then if you choose the right option, everyone gets power-ups. Which is, it's cool, but I felt like it kind of broke my immersion with the fighting. Like I felt like it didn't need that.
Are they just like, are the enemies just like sitting in the background going like, let's let them?
Well, because that's the thing.
Do it.
Maybe I can show you after we're done. Like I can play a little bit and like show you, because it is like, it's really weird. Like it just like cuts away from battle and it's just like you guys in a huddle.
And they're just like, "Ooh, give them their space."
Yeah,
give them their space.
But then after the huddle, like. He like puts on a tape, and so then there's like a song in the background instead of just the regular fighting music, which is kind of fun.
That's cool.
And that was another thing I liked about it, was just like with the movies, you have these like classic like 70s and 80s, songs that are really good.
Oh, so it's like licensed music.
Oh yeah,
that's.
And they have a stream safe mode too, so you can, if you were to stream it, you could stream it, and the licensed music gets taken out and replaced with something else.
Yeah. That's great.
But like nothing can compare to like Pat Benatar. So
yeah, that's true. Love is a battlefield. Yeah.
It was really fun, and like I liked all of the characters besides like the Guardians characters that are in it too. Mm-hmm. I felt like the other characters from like the Guardians universe that they chose to bring in like fit really well within the plot, and it was just very fun. And yeah, the worlds were just very, very exuberant and like very well designed. So I had a lot of fun playing it, and I would recommend it for everybody.
Yeah, I might pick it up. It's on sale for $24.99.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. You get a dancing llama.
I mean, yeah, I saw.
Well, maybe So the other thing is they do have like not dialogue trees. Well, yes, dialogue trees, where like you can make choices that I think that will affect different things later in the game, which I also thought was very cool. It was kind of incorporated very, it wasn't a huge part of the game, but it was kind of in there. Like you have to make the right choice, because there were certain things like, like I was able to like fight better in my spaceship because like I chose to hide these like illegal parts instead of throwing them away when I got arrested.
That's interesting.
So like Rocket was able to install them on the ship. And so I think it upgraded my ship when I was having like space battles.
That's pretty cool.
So it's like there is stuff like that that affects you in the gameplay. And so like
I love decision trees.
Yeah, exactly. Like and it was cool because the effect was impactful, but it wasn't like it's not like when you're playing like Detroit or you're playing Life is Strange or like games like that where it's like that is the feature of those games.
Yeah, like where you almost get sick of it because that's the only thing you do.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, like because in a lot of cases too in the Guardians game you have the option to just remain silent, kind of like in
the Dark Pictures
games.
Yeah.
You can like not say anything.
Which I want to do a playthrough of the Dark Pictures
where
I just the whole like every choice I just say stay silent. I want to see what happens. You're just like and like your eyes, you're just like the characters are like, okay, I guess.
Okay, fine.
That's a really good idea. I want to try that.
We should do that. We should stream that where we just do like a death run where we just like purposefully fuck up like House of Ashes the whole time.
House of Silence.
House of Silence. Wait, that's a great idea. But yeah, it was really fun and there's just like a lot of like quirky things too, like a lot of environmental exploration, even like within your own ship.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a feature where I was like hoping there was going to be a trophy for it because people leave the fridge door open on the spaceship and I always would shut it. Yeah, I would always shut it. And so I was hoping there was a trophy for like, oh, like you shut the fridge door like every time it was open or something, but I don't think there was. But I was like, that would have been funny because like every time the door's open, I was like, and then at one point, Gamora's like, oh, you just shut the door. She was like, I thought I was the only one who does that. So it's funny. Like, there's like these like quirky, like quippy dialogues like in between that I felt like sometimes they were very chatty outside of cutscenes, but like I didn't hate it because I thought that it was like well written and I enjoyed it. It wasn't like, okay, like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, there's sometimes in games where there'll be dialogue going on in the background, and I'm a person who likes to like run through a game, like be really speedy, like just charge ahead. Yeah. Always trying to think of the word where you run faster, but there's a word for it that always is used with video games, and it is called it is called the something button, where I always look for it in the game. Because they need to run faster. I need to go faster. I can't walk in games.
Oh, no, I hate walking in games.
But anyway, I would always do that. So sometimes there'll be dialogue in the background and they're just going so slow that I speed through it.
Yeah.
So like they'll be saying something and it's like, it's actually like really funny, or like Uncharted. This happened all the time where like Sully's a really funny character and he would be talking to Nate and like they're both funny together and it'd be like really good dialogue. But I'd be running ahead and like just like keep trying to like charge through.
Right. So it's like...
And then like, or the cutscene will start in the middle of their saying it, and I'm just like,
I would. That happens in Guardians too, like because I do the same thing where it's like if characters are talking, I won't like in the field. I won't stop what I'm doing to let them have their conversation. I'll just keep moving. So I did that a couple of times where people were like talking, and then I would just like keep going, and then a cutscene would start, and I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah, what did they say?
Whoops.
Yeah, yeah, because I don't know what kind of person would just be like, oh, they're speaking, I have to stop. Because then I don't think they ever stop. Like they'll just keep doing it. And you're just like sitting there,
it's like us.
Yeah, it's just like we're just gonna do this all day. I guess so. Yeah.
Not like we need to save the world.
No. We just need to listen to each other talk more. Yeah. Talk more, action less.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just really liked it. I liked the plot too, actually, surprisingly. I think it was very well designed. I liked the I don't know how to even like talk about it. Just like I liked the nature of I don't know how to talk about it without just like having to talk about what the plot of the game is. No spoilers
here. Ooh. Don't care about TV shows. Don't care about movies. Tell me all the spoilers.
But games,
games I know I'm not gonna play. I don't care.
Right. But games that you want to play, I'm like
Ooh. Silence the whole rest of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I will say is I like the because once you get to the main like conflict, I liked the I'm like struggling so hard because I'm like I want to talk about it, but I'm like I can't.
So there's something that happens.
Right, there's something that happens, and you go and you're like, oh man, and then like you have to
do another thing.
You have to do another thing, and then you have to either accept or reject the thing, the bad thing,
and it affects the thing.
Right, and then one of the guardians succumbs to it, And
That's
so
too much. It's too much.
And
You
so
went too far.
But I'm not talking about what the thing is. You don't know what it is.
Comes to it.
Well, yeah, it's a conflict. You already knew it was bad. And so then you have to do a thing to help him. So now you know it's not Gamora, because as I said to him. But that's okay, because she's the only woman.
As good.
Which is good.
We don't need more women.
We don't need more women
games.
in the Guardians, no. And yeah, so you have to help him. And so you help him.
Okay.
And then you have to help someone else. And then the game ends. You have a sort of like
keep going.
You have a I'm like sweating from laughing so hard.
You're like trying so hard not to say you're gonna say
I'm
it.
gonna just say it.
Because you're gonna keep talking.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm literally sweating because I'm laughing so hard. It's comparable to
You're like
the fourth disc of Final Fantasy VII, where you have to help Cloud. And that's it.
Wait.
That's all I'll say. Where you're inside Cloud.
Yeah.
You have to help him. That's it.
Okay. I think I kind of know now a little bit more. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I was just describing Final Fantasy VII, not Guardians. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I know how that ends. I don't care.
Oh my God.
It ends in the most amazing music in video games.
Yeah.
Sephiroth's dance music.
Yep. It's One Winged Angel, but a dubstep remix.
Yeah.
That has to exist.
That has to exist.
I'm Googling it after.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's another.
Does that make you want to play it more? Because now you're like, what the fuck is
what's going on? Well, I'm already invested financially in this. Also,
only
I'm an investor. I don't invest in Bitcoin. I invest in spending money on games people tell me to play.
Right. That Chris explains poorly.
And I'm like, oh, that's on the list. I felt bad ever since I recommended Death Stranding to someone and they spent money on it.
Yeah.
So I'm not allowed to recommend things.
I feel like now we should do a segment on the podcast where like we have to try to explain games that the other person hasn't played, but not give detail.
Mm-hmm. It'll be a lot of the thing with the thing.
Right.
Going into, if that thing.
They get a thing.
A thing. It's
and
big.
They have to take the big thing somewhere.
Thing. Huge.
Yeah. I mean, really far.
Like.
Across the world.
Not close.
Yeah.
Very far.
Super far. Because this is a 50-hour game, so it's really far. So they have to take the big thing and go really far.
Is this big thing, are people after this big thing?
Probably.
Okay. Ambiguous? Maybe.
I was actually thinking, I was almost going to describe the God of War plot where I'm like, you have a thing and you have to take it somewhere
to
really
a high
tall.
Thing. Yeah,
really high and really far.
Yeah. And the temperatures can fluctuate.
Yeah.
It's not the temperature is different from the temperature you're taking it.
Right. And you try to get there, but there's something in your way. So you have to go back.
Yeah.
And that happens a couple times. And you meet a person.
You meet several people. But one person in specific.
Yeah, you meet this one person.
Yeah.
And they can do magic.
Yeah. That's it.
They're also a god.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, it said too much. The whole plot. So, yes, I want to play that game. I'm also going to get the DLC, so my money is just going out the window.
Well, it's fine because you've been getting check after check this
That is right. That is funny. I've been complaining. Okay, so I've been complaining this whole time, maybe like a couple months now. The golden stimulus check that you're supposed to get, like the $600 for living in California.
Right.
And I was like, man, I didn't get it. I was like, I got the government one.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't I get this one? Like, I did not make that amount of money. Did I accidentally like mess something up to where you're not going to send it to me? I was like, dang.
You made $2 too much.
Yeah. I was getting so mad. I was like, oh, it's never going to come. It's never going to come. I kept waiting. It was in my mailbox the whole time. Just like sitting there.
Honestly, like I don't check my mail. So I'm like, like my roommate is the one who checks the mail and will bring it up. And I'm like, oh, I have mail.
I have money. Wow. But it's so funny. When I saw it, I didn't think like, oh, yeah. I thought, oh no, I'm getting audited. Like it was an official like government like envelope. And I was like, oh no, this looks
They didn't just deposit
scary.
it to your bank account?
No, I got a paper check.
Why?
Which is weird. I don't know. I feel like that's because they were sending out money like in intervals. It was like 2-week intervals, and they were doing direct deposit for the first like 5 or 6 intervals.
Oh, and the last one was paper?
Paper. They just like, I guess.
They just gave up. They're like paper.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they'll give me the instant deposit too. You know, just
but then you're going to get audited for sure.
That's true. They're like, you took an extra. I'm like, actually. Oh, well, actually then. Well,
actually, the IRS.
Yeah. This bitch trying to, actually us. Well, actually, I know more than
actually, this was your fault, so I can keep the money.
Yeah. It's like the food place that I ordered from.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, can you reorder it? I'm like, well, actually, no.
Well, actually, I can't.
Morally.
Did we tell that story on the podcast?
I think we did the night of.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
Yeah,
I can't believe they literally tried to get you to pay.
I know.
And then you were like, no. And they were like, okay, have a good night.
They're like, I understand. Have a good night. I'm like, you tried.
Yeah, I mean, at least they tried.
Yeah.
You have to try.
That was funny.
Oh my God.
Did you end up eating any of that?
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was pretty good.
Okay.
It was in my fridge for a long time, though.
Yeah. Mine also, and then I just threw it out.
Same. Well, because mine was in the fridge for like 2 weeks. I ate half of it, and then the other half I left in the fridge for 2 weeks. And then I do this all the time where I put stuff in Tupperware, and then like I'll eat it. And then if I don't eat it within 2 days, it sits in the fridge for 3 weeks, and then I have to throw it away. And I'm just like, I'm like, just throw it away when you know you're not going to eat it, because now it smells.
I do the same shit.
Yeah. And then I'm like,
yeah. And it's like slimy and gross. And you're like, why didn't I throw this out earlier?
Right. And then I'm like, wow, it's not moldy though.
What preservatives they put in this?
Right.
That's funny.
So, yeah.
Have you seen Netflix? Or not Netflix. Have you seen Netflix? You're like, I just realized Netflix is a thing.
Have you heard of Netflix?
It's really great. It's like really
they send you DVDs to your house.
And games.
Oh my God. I just had like a visceral flashback to ordering Netflix, because back when Netflix was new and they were sending it was only DVDs. Yeah. All you kids out there, it was only DVDs to begin with.
All these instant gratificationers out there.
Right. Streamers.
We had to wait a week.
Streaming, loser.
We had to send it back and wait.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to order discs. Because my mom got a subscription, and I was like, I don't care about movies. We know this. I was like, I want the games. I'm trying to remember what games I played from there.
NFL.
Yeah,
Esports.
NFL.
Esports.
Because I'm like, maybe that's why because I do remember like there were some games like on that memory card and on another one where I was like, I don't think I ever owned this. And that's probably why, is because I was renting games to try them.
Like the sports game they had.
The sports game, like NFL.
Called it like Shrek 2.
Shrek 2. No, Shrek 2, I had the box.
You could have avoided that bullet. You could have avoided that bullet, but you took it.
No, I took it.
You're like, I owned it.
I was like, no, I owned Shrek 2, the game.
Still have
the fact that there was Shrek 1 and Shrek 2.
Yeah, you just had to see what it was about.
I had to.
You had to see the disaster.
You collect onions.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure.
That makes sense. But anyway, so that's not what I was going to say.
You run around the swamp.
Yeah. Have you seen Cowboy Bebop, like the original series?
No.
I will stop there then, because I watched the Netflix Netflix version, because they released a. I was going to say like a human version, but like
I know what you mean, a live action.
Yeah, live action. Yeah, and I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about it. Because that anime series, Cowboy Bebop, is the anime series that I tell everyone to watch, even if they don't like anime. Yeah, because it is so good.
It's on my list, so I have 2 lists. I have an anime list and a video game list of things that I should have played but haven't, or should have watched but haven't. And Cowboy Bebop is on my anime list.
Yeah, that is like I would say that's like the top. That's probably in my opinion, I'm not saying anything else, is the best anime of all time. Wow. The music, the characters, the fact that it's short. It's only 21 episodes. Which is
perfect. I'll watch it, and then we can talk about it next week.
Yeah, it's perfect. And then the episodes are super short. They're not like an hour long. It's like 20 minutes.
God, for some reason I thought that it was long.
No. It's like 21 episodes.
21 episodes.
Yeah, and they're all like little vignettes. Like they're all like little stories encapsulated in episodes. So each episode's very varied, and there's a lot of like different things that happen. Like it's never boring. Like it's always interesting. And the characters are amazing. And I was gonna say, when you were talking about the Tupperware story, there's an episode of Cowboy Bebop that actually like relates to that a lot. And it's my favorite episode. A Cowboy Bebop. So, but anyway, I started watching the live action. A lot of thoughts. Do not watch, please.
You're like, watch the anime first.
Yes, like do not watch.
I don't have Netflix, so I can't watch
Even if you're at a friend's house, even if you're like somewhere else, and they're like, oh, let's watch. No. Put it down.
You're like, shoot them.
Yeah, shoot them in the head.
Commit
because
murder.
you want to make sure they don't live. And then put the while they're dead on the floor, bleeding out.
Right.
Put in the anime.
Ah.
Wow, it is good.
Wow, yeah, I'll just watch it this week.
Yeah.
I could probably watch it in one day.
It'd be great.
I shouldn't do that.
No.
I'll watch it in 2 days.
Yeah. But now you have the time, yeah.
This is the great thing about being injured is I have the time for these kinds of things. Because like I said, I beat Guardians in 2 days. And I think I put like 20 hours into that game.
Oh, wow.
So I literally played one day from 7 p.m. until 2 in the morning.
Oh, that reminds me of my adolescence.
Right. I was like, this reminds me of when I was in high school. And like I would do 2 things. I would stay up all night playing video games and I would stay up all night reading.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I miss that.
Yeah, no, I miss like seeing the sunrise and be like,
being like,
fuck. And then be like, now I'm tired. Now all of a sudden I saw the sun and I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also miss staying up to watch anime on Adult Swim.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I watch Cowboy Bebop. It's Adult Swim.
Yeah.
I would stay up for it. Because it would be after Inuyasha or Inuyasha would be on before. Either vice versa.
Yeah. I would stay up because I would watch Robot Chicken.
I love Robot Chicken.
So fucking good. I love Robot Chicken. I would stay up to watch Robot Chicken and I think it came on at midnight. So I think, well, I remember because I watched Death Note on Adult Swim. And it would come on, I think, before Robot Chicken. So I just ended up watching, like, and I fucking love Death Note. Like, Death Note's on my list of things that's extremely popular and should be. Because there's some things, like, where I'm like, it's extremely popular, but it's not that good.
Like Chris Pratt. So.
Like One Piece.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
Sorry.
Not into it. I was about to say something controversial, but I stopped myself. And Death Note is actually on my list of animes that I want to watch.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Nope.
I have the DVDs if you want them.
I can play it on my PS5.
Yeah.
I'm a PS5. Is that tied in every time? We're PS5 owners.
Right. Every time we have to mention it. Also, have you ever watched Hellgirl?
Why is that so familiar?
It's my favorite. I also have the first season on DVD. It's my favorite anime series.
Is that a spinoff of Hellsing?
No.
Okay.
But it's kind of similar. Like, I thought about it because when you were talking about each episode of Cowboy Bebop being a vignette, Hellgirl is the same way, where each episode is a different, like, essentially a different story. But something that I really liked about it was that I probably, like, maybe like 4 or 5 or 6 episodes in, they actually start developing a subplot. So it's like each episode will still be an individual story, but they start to develop, like there's reoccurring characters who start to recognize that this Hellgirl entity exists. Because basically the concept is you go to this website and you can like essentially like summon Hellgirl. Like you type in, I think, like the name of like a person who you want like revenge against. And so she, like, depending on how, like, bad your situation is, like, she'll come and she'll, like, kill that person, basically. But the caveat is if you accept, like, her service, you are condemned to hell. Oh. So it's really cool. It's very, very beautiful.
You're like, hell's beautiful.
Hell is beautiful. And the art is so beautiful. And I love that concept. And then, yeah, it's cool how they develop sort of a subplot where you have these recurring characters. There's a guy who, like, recognizes like this Hellgirl entity exists and like they develop like a rapport.
A romance?
Like, no. She's a child. So, I'm like, no.
You're making me seem like a horrible person.
Girl.
You know, most of these animes, they look like they're 12, but they're really like 35.
Right.
Because they have the boobs of like a 40-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, and so it's really cool, and there's just the main characters are really cool, and it's very beautiful. And there's 3 seasons, but the first season is the best in my opinion.
For some reason, like you're explaining this to me, no, it does sound cool. I'm interested in it. It sounds like something I've either watched or read, like the manga of.
There's a manga, I believe.
I feel like I've read the manga.
Yeah,
because I got into like this really big like period of my life where like I was just reading manga all the time.
Oh.
That's all I did. It's like manga, young adult, like vampire stories.
Yeah. My manga collection was off the charts, and then like I eventually sold all of it. Well, I sold most of it. I have the only manga I still have are like my favorite series that I actually like collected all the manga of.
That's cool. That's a lot. That's a work.
Well, Yeah, and I made like $800
That's awesome.
selling all of what I had.
They're expensive.
They are expensive, and I wasn't even, because when I started collecting manga, they were like $9.99, and then they were like $12.99.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was selling them for like half price because I was like, well, I just want to get rid of these. Yeah. And I had a lot of like full sets, so like people could buy like a whole set at once.
That's nice. I always like that. I never like.
Yeah.
Now when I go to like bookstores, I'll still look at the manga sometimes, or like the graphic novels, and they'll always have like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, where's 1, 2, 3, 6? Because I don't want to just read 4 or 5, and it's like really hard to find the first copy of things too.
Which makes sense. But then I'm like, why aren't they ordering more of the first few in a series?
That's true.
Because it's just logical that you're going to sell out of the first few because it's the first in a series. So you can test the waters. So I'm like, stock extra of the first 2 or 3.
You heard it here first, kids. Like, I really want to read Ranma Half again because I love that manga. That's my favorite manga. And I really like the series too, the anime series. But I want the full collection of the Ranma before I read it again. Yeah. Because I don't know if you know that book. It's like thick. It's a thick manga. Thick boy. Each one. Yeah. And I want that. But it's really old. It's like a really old one. So I'm afraid to look at the price of the full set.
I really want, and I never finished it, but I'm going to see if I can pull up the, I just want to show you the style. It was a series called MPD Psycho. And it's like a, I don't even know how to describe let's see what Wikipedia describes the genre as. It is. Ooh.
I'm like watching this. I'm like,
how are you not gonna? The series follows a police detective suffering from multiple personality disorder. He's on the case of a detective, He's a detective on a case of a serial killer who dismembers his victims. It's a very graphic novel.
Ooh, graphic novel.
It's a graphic manga, very violent and like definitely like there is dismembering. But I really like the art style of it, and like this is the cover of like the first.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. I like that art style a lot.
And then the actual art style is really cool. And I like it. It's like a detective murder graphic.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Gory.
I like those. I like those gore. I like
and
those
they're pretty short, but I only was able to collect the first few of them. So and they're back at my parents' house. I don't have any of them here. That might be my next thing that I bring back. Because I like collecting those kinds of things.
No, yeah. And I love collecting books I'll never read.
Yep.
Too. Like there's a book I just bought from Green Apple Bookstore in the city called Unfuck Yourself.
I'll never open it.
I'll never open it. But it sounds really good. It's how to like overcome your like mental stops and just like be able to like, unfuck yourself out of situations. Because a lot of times you fuck yourself over by thinking too much. Yeah, and like not going like, well, it'll just happen. I don't have to do anything. It'll just happen to me kind of mentality. Yeah. So this is how you unfuck yourself. But yeah. I just like saying unfuck yourself. It's so great.
But I'll never open it.
No.
There's a Japanese word for that. Like not for unfuck yourself. I mean, there might be, but there's for collecting and piling up books that like you don't read that you just let pile up. And it's sundoku, which is a portmanteau of the word the tsun comes from the word sumu, which is to pile up, and doku is the word for book, or like it might be one of the pronunciations of the word for book. I forget the kanji, but yeah, and so it's like the concept of like just having like books pile up, and it's one of my favorite because Japanese has so many like words for nuanced things in existence. And that's one of my favorite ones because it's like we don't have a word for that in English. Like we just say like, oh, like I have books piled up that I'm not going to read. Yeah. Exactly. But there's a word for it in Japanese that's like books that just pile up.
That's really cool. I'll think about that every time I look at my pile of books.
Yeah. You're like tsundoku.
Yeah. But I do read at least like a couple pages or a couple chapters. Yeah. And then I go to another book.
That's how I am with books and with games. Like if I'm not invested in a game, I'll play like a couple hours of it and then be like,
yeah, and that's perfectly fine. That is okay.
That's fine.
A-okay.
Except for when I spend $60 on it.
Yeah. Then it's like, yeah. But I guess anything else?
No, that is it.
That's all.
Whew!
That was a big one.
That was big, like this boot.
Oh, your boot.
Look at my boot. Wow, look at that. The perspective makes it look fucking huge.
Looks like a tire.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a tire on the bottom.
Yeah. Skateboard.
Anyway, thank you for listening, guys. You can listen to more of us on iTunes and Spotify. You can watch us on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
As always, you could do all three. Put the video up, mute it, and listen to us on iTunes.
If you're a real freak.
Yeah, if you're feeling freaky and you want to help us climb the charts.
Yeah. Help us climb.
Help us climb.
Not scaffolding.
Not a scaffolding. I can't climb right now, but
no.
You can help the podcast climb.
Yes.
And that's it, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely it. No more. No more.
No more. The people demand nothing.
They want silence.
They want silence after this.
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.